Hey everybody, this is Susan coming at you on the spicy pickle. And I was going to introduce my husband, but he got to peek his little face in. Oh, they can't see your hand. No way.
Hi everybody.
We're really professional YouTubers here, can't you tell? Anyway, I have a little peak sticking up there. Anyway, so we just had a little incident here. I was standing at the kitchen counter and I got this whiff of sour rag. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Sour rag. So
I couldn't smell it.
Brian couldn't smell it.
She could.
So that's the whole point of this little YouTube video. Let's talk about highly sensitive people. So, right? We had this conversation at dinner last night with the kids. And a lot of the kids in our family are what some would label HSPs, highly sensitive people. So my son was like, we don't like labels, Mom. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. We don't like labels. But it's a true thing that some people are more sensitive than others. Should I take you in or out? In or out? Okay.
I don't need to look at myself.
Anyway, so my whole point here is that there are people in your life that are highly sensitive. It might be you, it might not be you. But I think it took me quite a number of years to realize that there is such a thing as higher sensitive people, meaning they're more in tune with smells, sounds, feelings, right? Kids that don't like tags in their pants. Personally, I don't like walking around my kitchen floor barefoot because if I feel crumbs under my feet, it's distracting. I'm less focused on what I'm doing. So when I clean the house, I call them my get her done shoes, right? He knows I got my get her done shoes on, and the kids know when I got my shoes on, it's a get her done day because I get distracted when I walk around barefoot. Isn't that so weird? Now, my husband here, he's wonderful. He is not highly sensitive.
Highly insensitive, I think that's what you said.
You are not emotionally highly insensitive, but maybe to things like light and sound and smell, you're not as sensitive, right?
Smell particularly.
Yeah. But the whole point is, like, you might have kids that are like that. And so don't just write it off as them being emotional or dramatic, because for them, it can be a real thing. Do you remember when Caleb went to the dentist when he was little for the first time? Maybe I shouldn't be using his name. But when he was little, we took him to the dentist, he would like involuntarily push away the hygienist, right? Because and I didn't realize, I did know this, but I didn't realize the extent of it because he was really sensitive to the feeling, to the light, to the touch. And I remember the dentist blowing air on his tooth and he flipped out and said that it hurt. And the dentist was like, it's just air, buddy. It doesn't hurt. And Mama Bear and me was like, ooh. So that dentist didn't really know about highly sensitive children, right? So this is getting a little longer than it needs to be. But the whole point is, if you are not a highly sensitive person and you're just not, sensitive to light, touch, sound, things like that, but you hear other people that respond to those things, I would just encourage you to ask them questions about it and don't just write it off, especially with your kids. If they're struggling with something or something doesn't feel right or whatever, don't shoot them down. Don't shame them. Don't get them frustrated. What are you laughing at?
Just listen to me.
But just listen to them and have them explain it to you and recognize that it's a real thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's just something we have to learn to respect in other people. And those of us that are sensitive, we just have to learn to accommodate and not let it become a distraction. Do you remember when Caleb also, we couldn't take him to the fireworks? You remember that.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
It was just really loud, so he had to cover his ears. And he cried the whole time.
He cried and he screamed.
And our other son too, same.
And it was miserable. We were like,
it was
why?
Terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
Why in the world did we come to the fireworks? So anyway, that's our parenting insight and advice for today, all based on a sour smelling rag. So this is Susan and my husband Brian, who is amazing, with our parenting tips on highly sensitive children and people And that's all for now. We hope you have an awesome day. Thanks for watching The Spicy Pickle. Bye.
See ya.